Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4 Chapter 12 Verse 12 तमेव शीलसम्पन्नं ब्रह्मण्यं दीनवत्सलं गोप्तारं धर्मसेतूनां मेनिरे प्रजाः. Dhruva Maharaj was endowed with all godly qualities. He was very respectful to the devotees of the Supreme Lord and very kind to the poor and innocent, and he protected religious principles. With all these qualifications, he was considered to be the direct father of all the citizens. The personal qualities of Dhruva Maharaj described herein are the exemplary qualities of a saintly king. Not only a king, but also the leaders of a modern democratic or impersonal government must be qualified with all these godly characteristics. Then the citizens of the state can be happy. It is clearly stated here that the citizens thought of Dhruva as their father. As a child, depending on the able father, is completely satisfied. So the citizens of the state, being protected by the state or the king, should remain satisfied in every respect. At the present moment, however, there is no guarantee by the government of even the primary necessities of life in the state, namely protection of lives and property of the citizens. Okay. One word is very significant in this connection, Brahmanyam. Dhruva Maharaj was very devoted to the Brahmanas who engage in the study of the Vedas and thereby know the Supreme Person of Godhead. Brahma Janati iti Brahmanaha. They're always busy propagating Krishna consciousness. Brahmana means he should be propagating Krishna consciousness. They should be very respectful to societies that distribute God consciousness all over the world. But unfortunately, at the present moment, there is no state or government support given to such movements. And we are seeing this. Practically, we are seeing day to day. There is no support. They don't want to help in any way because they want votes. So they're going behind votes. They're not interested in any God consciousness or protecting the real interest of citizens. Mm. They just want votes. So they will take political decisions which are favorable for their vote bank. So yeah, there is practically no support. As for good qualities, it is very difficult to find anyone in state administration with any good qualities. The administrators simply sit in their administrative posts and say no to every request, as if they were paid to say no to the citizens. Another word, Dina Vatsalam, is very significant also. The state head should be very kind to the innocent. Unfortunately, in this age, the state agents and the presidents draw good salaries from the state and they post themselves as very pious, but they allow the running of slaughterhouses where innocent animals are killed. If we try to compare the godly qualities of Dhruva to the qualities of modern statesmen, we can see that there is no actual comparison. Dhruva was present in Satyuga, as will be clear from the next verses. He was the ideal king in Satyuga. Government administration in the present age, Kali Yuga, is bereft of all godly qualities. Considering all these points, the people today have no alternative but to take to Krishna consciousness for protection of religion, life, and property. So Prabhupada, every now and then, he keeps talking about the political situation, social situation, because Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, it touches all aspects of life. So one is how a state has to be, how the ruler has to be, etc. But the other view here is also that of a devotee Dhruva. So devotee should be endowed with all godly qualities. This is very important. Uttamadhikari sees anyway that everybody sees everybody as a devotee. He cannot see a non-devotee. He's at that platform of consciousness. But when Uttamadhikari comes down to Madhyamadhikari, or there is a Madhyamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari has to have love for Krishna, has to have respect and good friendship relationship with devotees, has to be compassionate to the innocent, and has to be away from people who are envious or the atheistic. Mm. So these are the qualities of a Madhyama Adhikari. Love for the Lord, respect for devotees, compassion for the innocent, and avoid uh, Gnostics or atheists or envious people. Envious meaning those who are envious to Krishna, atheists. And these qualities are required because unless a devotee has love for Supreme Lord, he is not going to respect his devotees. And also he is not going to show any compassion towards living entities. So most of the devotees in ISKCON, unfortunately, uh, they remain in a lower platform, which is Kanishta Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari means very neophyte. Of course, they would have made progress from basic, very initial early days neophytes to maybe somewhere higher. But our sampradaya actually expects everybody to come to Madhyamadhikari at least. And Madhyamadhikari means actually having this compassion to preach, to take this message to every soul, distribute books. Prabhupada said clearly, what is the value of your 3-minute preaching? Distribute books, right? So this is compassion. But unfortunately today people are very, very hesitant to come out and distribute books. Yesterday it was a very nice day at our center in Holimau because how many, 5 Bhagavatam sets got distributed in just matter of 3 hours. 5 Bhagavatam sets, and of course our devotees are trying, putting all the effort to distribute those books because Prabhupada said the whole world will change. This is the light in this dark age of Kali Yuga. Light is Srimad Bhagavatam. It is non different, which is Krishna himself. So to be able to do that, we need to have compassion. Oh, they're all suffering. They need Krishna's mercy. Hmm. And Bhagavatam, mercy of Bhagavatam, so many stories are coming out. As we distribute more Bhagavatams, more people and their experiences, how their life changed after Krishna entered their house in the form of Bhagavatam. So it will change people's lives. There is no doubt about it. Hmm. So initially we were also very, very hesitant. Oh, how do we tell people saying, we spend so much and take. No, we are not talking about the money at all. We are simply saying, it's the most important thing. Krishna is coming to your house. You are trying very hard to, mm, have, have a nice life. If Krishna comes into your life, Krishna will take care of things. Surrender to Krishna. This is the message of Bhagavad Gita. So welcome Krishna home in the form of Bhagavatam. And then, yeah, and then finally ask, okay, how much is it? Okay, so much. Okay, you can give in some installments also if you wish. So we don't make that money part a big part of the discussion because the whole idea is that this has to go. Everybody has to get benefited. Somehow every devotee has to try. Okay, if you are not in the mood to distribute books, donate Bhagavatams, right? There are so many needy people who are not able to pay that much, that kind of money, and they'll be happy to, accept the gift, your gift. Mm. But we have to have these qualities, we have to be kind to the innocent who have some God consciousness and help them make progress. Sat Trimshad Varsha Sahasram Shashasa Kshiti Mandalam Bhogai Punya Kshayam Kurvan Abhogair Ashubha Kshayam. The Maharaj ruled over this planet for 36,000 years. He diminished the reactions of pious activities by enjoyment, and by practicing austerities, he diminished inauspicious reactions. So it looks like one can diminish, of course, by enjoying, we diminish our pious activities. And it is said here that by practicing austerities, mm, Shubha, Kshaya, is all the inauspicious reactions are diminished by practicing austerities. Of course, for us in Krishna consciousness itself, process itself diminishes inauspicious reactions. Just surrendering to Krishna diminishes inauspicious reactions. So Krishna is saying, Sarva dharman paritijya mamekam sharanam vraja, ham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyam. That Dhruva Maharaj ruled over the planet for 36,000 years means that he was present in Satyuga, because in Satyuga people used to live for 100,000 years. In Treta, people used to live for 10,000. In Dwapara, for 1,000. In the present age Kali, maximum duration of life is 100 years. With the change of the yugas, duration of life and memory, quality of kindness, and all other good qualities diminish. Duration of life, memory, quality of kindness. The two kinds of activities, pious and impious. By executing pious activities, one can gain facilities for higher material enjoyment. But due to impious activities, one has to undergo severe distress. Severe distress. So, the more severe our distress is, the more impious our activity was at some point of time. A devotee, however, is not interested in enjoyment or affected by distress. Devotee should not be interested in enjoyment and should not get affected by distress. So this is our goal. We've been talking about this again and again. So we have to reach this stage where we are not affected, sochati na kangshati, or being equipoised in all situations. When he's prosperous, he knows I am diminishing the results of my pious activities. And when he is in distress, he knows I am diminishing the results of my impious activities. A devotee is not concerned with enjoyment or distress. He simply desires to execute devotional service. So Prabhupada is writing, as a matter of fact, meaning this how it has to be. So if it is not like that, then we have to work towards it. Working towards it meaning just remembering the instruction, trying and praying for mercy, associating with devotees who are able to live that way, nicely chanting, begging for mercy from the Supreme Lord, from Srila Prabhupada, from Vaishnavas, that's all. But we have to just simply try to achieve this, not concerned with enjoyment or distress, simply desires to execute devotional service. It said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the devotional service should be apratiyata, unchecked by material conditions of happiness or distress. Sometimes people say, oh, okay, I'm in a lot of distress, Prabhu, I'm not able to do any bhakti. Bhagavatam says apratiyata. Whether if things are too much, too comfortable, everything going as per your desire, then also devotees don't take up bhakti seriously. And if it is too much distress also, devotees don't take bhakti seriously. It's a big fortune to come to devotion and stick irrespective of our condition, material condition. Somehow we have to hold on somehow. The devotee undergoes processes of austerity such as observing Ekadashi and similar other fasting days. Of course, now for those real austere ones, Bhishma Panchak, can do if you wish. Very severe, severe austerity. Yeah, you can do. You can do. So fasting on Ekadashi and similar other fasting days like appearance days, etc. And refraining from illicit sex life, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. Thus, he becomes purified from the reactions of his past impious life. So, just by undergoing this austerity, Prabhupada is saying that he becomes purified from the reactions. And because he engages in devotional service, which is the most pious activity, he enjoys life without separate endeavor. So two things are happening. As we are following the process of austerity which has been recommended for bhakti, which is not very strict at all, which is simply observing fasting on certain days and four regulative principles. Mm. So Prabhupada is saying thus he becomes purified from the reactions of his past impious life. And because he engages in devotional service, which is the most pious activity, he enjoys life without separate endeavor. So both are happening. Austerities are also, we are also performing, and that is also resulting in one becoming purified from past sinful reactions, and he engages in devotional service, which is a positive activity which gives him happiness and takes him to Krishna. And anyway, these austerities are favorable to bhakti. There are other austerities which are not favorable to bhakti. That is why Anyabilashita Shunyam Dana Karmadanavratam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama. So in this, it said that too much of austerity, too much, gnana, all these which are not favorable to bhakti are become obstacles. So we shouldn't do so much austerity. That Prabhupada always used to emphasize, okay, if you have service, you want to go out and distribute books, and for which your body is not supporting you if you don't eat, and that is a day of fasting, no problem, have prasadam and go. So his focus was very, very clear. We are not doing austerities for the sake of austerities. We cannot do austerities and then give up other services that are out there that are more beneficial to people, outside people. So we are not selfish. Oh, we think, okay, if I do this austerity, I'm going to get some benefit in my bhakti. No, Prabhupada said you will anyway get, because you're in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. So go out and distribute mercy every day. So we're not self-centered. We're not worried about our spiritual progress. So somehow we have to just engage in this devotion and try hard to distribute this mercy to others. एवं बहुसवं कालं महात्मा वैचलेन्द्रियः त्रिवर्गौपैखं नीत्वा उत्तरायादान् नृपासनम्. The self-controlled great soul, Dhruva, thus passed many, many years favorably executing three kinds of worldly activities, dharma, artha, and kama. Thereafter, he handed over the charge of the royal throne to his son. Perfection of materialistic life is suitably attained by the process of observing dharma, religious principles. This leads automatically to successful artha, and thus there is no difficulty in satisfying all material desires, kama. Since Dhruva, as a king, had to keep up his status quo, or it would not have been possible to rule over the people in general, he did it perfectly. So Dhruva Maharaj was engaged in this dharma, artha, kama just to show Mahajana Yeno Gatasya Panta, just to show the path, because he was a king. Because not everybody will be ready to take the path of bhakti, and if he, in the name of bhakti, gives up normal dharma, artha, kama, then most of the population will become adharmic. So he just did this, did it perfectly to show them the path. But as soon as he saw that his son was grown up and could take charge of the royal throne, immediately handed over the charge, retired from ornament. That's all. He was not attached at all. He was simply doing it as a matter of duty. Yesterday, somebody was talking to me and said, how is it possible to just do things as a matter of duty without having attachment? Very difficult, actually, in today's world. Very difficult to understand. How can one do do things just as a matter of duty without having passion? People talk about passion, you have to be passionate about your job. Krishna is saying, no, no. You have to just do it as a matter of duty. That's all. No over attachment. One word used here is very significant, avichalendriyaha, which means that he was not disturbed by the agitation of the senses, nor was his sensory power diminished. Although in years he was a very old man. So he's growing old, not so old, but 36% of his life was gone. But still his sensory power did not diminish. So his sensory power was intact. Still he was not agitated by the senses. See, normally this as human beings grow old, their sensory power diminishes, and thereby the agitation of senses reduces. If the sensory power never diminished, there would have not have been anybody like a old man at all. And because everybody wants to enjoy, right? So if the senses were as powerful as they were maybe in their youth or something, they would have gone, continued enjoyment, do all kinds of nonsense. The only reason that everybody is like slowing down in their old age is because their sensory power diminishes. Since he ruled over the world for 36,000 years, naturally one may conclude that he became very, very old, but actually senses were young, and yet he was not interested in sense gratification. In other words, he remained self controlled. He performed his duties perfectly according to the materialistic way. That is the way of great behavior of great devotees. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, one of the direct disciples of Lord Chaitanya, was the son of a very rich man. Although he had no interest in enjoying material happiness, when he was interested with doing something in managing the state, he did it perfectly. Srila Gaura Sundara advised him, from within, keep yourself and your mind completely aloof, but externally execute the material duties just as they need to be done. Hmm. Internally, Krishnamati. Externally, just duty conscious. That's all. This transcendental position can be achieved by devotees only, as described in Bhagavad Gita, while others, such as yogis, try to control their senses by force. Devotees, even though possessing full sensory powers, do not use them because they engage in higher transcendental activities. Vishya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavartyam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Param drishtva, higher taste. When we experience higher taste, then we don't want to engage in lower taste activities. So devotees should, again, we should understand, devotees transcendental position can be achieved by devotees only, meaning practicing devotees, sadhakas, we should achieve this transcendental position. Keeping ourselves and mind completely aloof internally and externally just engaging as a matter of duty. Manyamana idam vishwam maya rachitam avidya rachita swapna gandharva nagaropanmam. Dhruva Maharaj realized that this cosmic manifestation bewilders living entities like a dream or phantasmagoria because it is a creation of the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. In the deep forest, it sometimes appears that there are big palaces and nice cities. That is technically called Gandharva Nagara. Similarly, in dreams also, we create many false things out of imagination. A self-realized person or a devotee knows well that this material cosmic manifestation is a temporary, illusory representation appearing to be truth. It is like a phantasmagoria. But behind this shadow creation, there is reality, the spiritual world. A devotee is interested in the spiritual world, not its shadow. Since he has realization of the supreme truth, the devotee is not interested in this temporary shadow of truth. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Param Drishtva Nivartate. So Prabhupada in one of the first few verses, I think first verse only, he says like in Bhagavatam, he says, uh, this material world can be likened to the cinemas. So it attracts people who are less intelligent, who get attracted by cinema. So we should understand, I mean, our whatever so-called attraction we have towards this material world is really craziness because it's not real, it's not permanent. We have taken a temporary form in this body and we have been put into temporary situations. That's all. Why are we so attached to this temporary situation, this temporary body, this temporary everything that we are associated with now, right now, materially is all temporary. It's illusory. It's not the truth because today it's there, tomorrow it's not going to be there. If we have to take birth again in this material world and in few years we'll give up this body, we'll take another body. And then everything changes, right? Our body, our possessions, me, mine, everything changes. So then we completely forget. We have no remembrance of people whom we were associated with in the previous life. But while we were associated in the previous life, we were so attached, isn't it? So this is illusion. This is illusion. Mm. So we have to just understand, okay, different jivas have come together in a house, have some certain specific relationship, but this is just temporary. It's there today, it will remain there till destined, and then it is finished. The only relationship that is permanent is the relationship with the Supreme Lord, and with his devotees, because that is on the spiritual platform. Guru will come back to take us. Mm. If we don't follow the process and if we don't perfect our lives, then we'll force the Guru to come back. Mm. So then we will not be a good disciple. We are giving trouble to the Guru. So we should follow what is being told. Remember that this whole cosmic manifestation is just material cosmic manifestation, is just temporary, illusory. Not get very attached to it. But unfortunately, this seems like somewhat very difficult for many people. And we are just not able to see the illusion. We are just not able to see the illusion. We still look at the mirror and think of, oh, I am this person. Mm. We still look at people and look at their body, isn't it? Whenever generally we meet some devotees, oh, you become fat, you become thin, you become this, you become that. It's not you become, your body is become. That also we are not at all Krishna conscious. Mm. Oh, you become fat. It's like in Bhagavatam, that conversation with that Avaduta, or even Rahu, Rahugana and Jadabharat. Jadabharat says, yeah, I'm neither fat, I'm neither thin. So we are so bodily conscious, so bodily conscious, possession conscious. Suppose somebody came, they were riding or driving some vehicle, and then after a few days they came in another vehicle. Oh, you bought a new car, you bought a new two-wheeler. And so natural, we just naturally ask. mm, Somebody's wearing some new clothes. Oh, you're wearing a new. Everything. We don't see the spiritual reality at all. We don't see the spiritual progress the devotee has done. Mm. Simply see the body and things connected with the body. That's all. And we feel so sad that sometimes devotees come to Krishna, and then because of this mundane view, mundane vision, they leave the association of devotees. Mm. They fight with devotees, they create problems for themselves, and they leave. And it pains us. But they're not in a position to understand. They just think, no, no, no. Oh, still, how could this person have spoken like this or done like this or whatever? So we have to be interested in the spiritual world. We should not be interested in this material world. Unfortunately, this doesn't look like it's not a major aspect of our bhakti at all, but we are stuck here. That is why the only solution Prabhupada is saying here, param drishtva nivartate. We have to develop higher taste. We have to experience higher taste. Mm. Yesterday, it was a very, memorable day in our center in Ulimau. Like, yeah, somehow yesterday, like, devotees were all in ecstasy. Our kirtan was ecstatic. Everybody was like jumping and, very happy. Param drishtva nivartate. And once they experience this happiness, then they feel, oh, okay, no, no, I want to come back. I want to come back to experience this happiness. But if we cannot have that atmosphere, then naturally people will be drawn towards material things, right? So that is the reason why Prabhupada's program, mm, morning program, evening program, and whatever the design of our, how we run our temple centers, etc. It is to give this higher taste. Very, very important. Somehow I'm just thinking of various ways to just highlight this point, saying that we should not be attached to this temporary material manifestation. Mm. So it is best that we follow this varnashrama, right? It's best because somehow we have to force ourselves. If we are not naturally um, being able to understand and appreciate this, saying that okay, this is all temporary, I should not be attached to this, I should be attached to the spiritual world, should be attached to transcendent spiritual activities, then maybe better, at the age of 50 or 55, give up grihastha, finish off activities, finish off responsibilities, give up grihastha. Mm. Do vanaprastha, take up vanaprastha, force yourself to do it. Mm. Because otherwise this attachment will just go on and on and on without cessation, without stoppage. And if you do that, we are not going to go anywhere. We're just going to come back again. We just wasted one more opportunity. That's all. So it's all illusory. It's just a dream. It's just a dream. How much importance do we give to our dreams? We sleep, then we have some dreams, we wake up, and then we forget it. Mm. Similarly, we should just look at this material world as a dream. Yeah, Raju Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I have a couple of questions, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so the first one is today's first shloka we are discussing. So in that purport, Prabhupada is mentioning regarding the politics and the nowadays king and
Politicians.
yes, politicians.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have one doubt, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
See, we are seeing among devotees only. They are, I mean, nowadays they are much into this Hindutva thing, and they are
Mm-hmm.
promoting we should vote for BJP because
Mm-hmm.
they will do cow protection. I mean, there are many things are there.
Yeah.
So in that, what I felt is even some kind of I saw many devotees, some kind of hatredness will come among
Mm.
other people who are
Yeah, yeah.
supporting other
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
parties.
Yeah.
And suppose I heard in one lecture that we should not cast any vote
Yeah.
because the karma will come. But if we say openly, again devotees only scold
Mm.
us.
Yeah.
It should not like that. So it is like I'm not getting Prabhu. Like
Mm.
I am thinking that devotees are going too much into this bodily consciousness
Mm.
regarding this politics and all
Yeah.
because uh, I read couple of months before in one of the Patropadesh Maharaj book that
Mm-hmm.
uh, means he told that I mean we should not be like that. Like we should not be
Yeah.
too much.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So what Prabhupada says about this is that see when we are in an institution, ISKCON is an institution, and
Hmm.
we should actually join hands with anybody who can create a favorable environment with us, right? So like Prabhupada says, you
Okay.
can go and like for example, Vasudeva. Vasudeva he was glorifying Kamsa also. And Prabhupada in that writes
Mm,
in Krishna books like that sometimes even sadhus will have to do this and glorify demons.
mm,
Why? Because for Krishna consciousness. Right now we are going
mm,
and we are talking nice things to these politicians, these people, that people. Why? Because they are going to help us in some way in promoting Krishna consciousness because they are the ones who are in control, right? We need a place, then we have to go to politicians, we need to talk. And yeah, they'll say BJP, Congress, etc. Whatever. I mean, for us, it doesn't matter. Hmm. Yeah, whoever is helping favorable to Krishna consciousness, Anukulyasa Sankalpa. We can see whatever we can do without getting too much. It's not like because now we are whatever. If somebody is pro BJP, it's not like if some person from Congress comes, you say get lost. Right? No, but if being pro BJP is helping, okay, be pro BJP, being pro Congress is helping, be pro Congress. I mean, for us, it doesn't matter because we are just trying to see what is the best way of promoting Krishna consciousness. And as devotees, yeah, I mean, I definitely those devotees who are not necessarily affected by these things should not get into this business, right? You should just do bhakti. We shouldn't go too much. And yes, of course, voting, yeah, clearly that there is karma phala there. So um, yeah, but we can't also completely remain aloof from the world situation also. So in some ways, we have to be careful how much we are getting entangled in this. And finally, yeah, then yeah, compassion goes out of the door, right? Then we look at non-Hindus and say, no, no, they don't deserve to become devotees and all that. So all this is not what Prabhupada wanted, right? So we have to be very, very careful. Yeah, we just avoid all this. Yeah, if you are serious followers of Srila Prabhupada, just avoid all these kinds of things. Just practice bhakti and do whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness. Okay, what was your second question?
Second question is yesterday I was speaking. I mean, one neophyte devotee was speaking to me. So he's saying that, Prabhu, I read like, I mean, the same point you told, work without attachment.
Mm,
But I have aspirations like, as an IT employee, I need to do this certification, and I'm trying so hard.
mm,
Uh, um, but I am not getting time to read. Actually, I am trying to um, distribute Bhagavatam. Actually, I am
mm-hmm,
saying the glories, and also this point came,
mm-hmm.
and after that I became busy. I told that I will speak to you tomorrow. So
Yeah,
for these people, these kind of people, I mean, starting if you tell many things, I know that they're not able to digest or follow.
yeah.
So uh, for these kind of people, we need do we need to encourage their aspirations and
No, we didn't need. We
uh,
don't need to encourage. We don't need to discourage. We should just tell
okay.
them saying that focus on bhakti. That's all. Our approach to everybody has to come in touch with Krishna. Okay, and then only purification happens. Now, if we push them
Mm,
too hard in a direction which they cannot understand and appreciate, they'll run away. Right. So such people, I just tell, okay, no problem. You want to do certification, go ahead and do. Then only one question
mm,
I was saying that, are you able to give half an hour for Krishna? Are you able to give 1 hour for Krishna? Okay, that's good enough. That's all. End of conversation. No more conversation,
mm,
right? Because automatically Krishna will do the talking, right? He will take care of stuff, right? See, we should never do anything which is going to push people away from Krishna consciousness. That is why preaching is a very mature activity. We will talk
mm,
about these things only when people are committed. Now they come and ask us saying that no, no, no. See, actually, I'm feeling now that I'm wasting too much of time like this. Then you can say, yeah, it's okay. It's not required, like that. But when somebody is thinking, no, 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 I want to do this, I want to do it, I'll say, okay, go ahead. It's your wish. But just make sure that you don't let it affect your sadhana. That's all I tell. No other
okay,
conversation. Because
okay.
they can't understand, appreciate it. And then we'll encourage them to do what? To do chanting, to read Prabhupada's books. Then they'll read. Then they'll read the same thing and say, oh, Prabhupada is saying like this. Why am I then doing that? Then Prabhupada will speak to them, right? And change their
Mm,
mind. So we don't have to, devotees, we have to just protect others, saying that,
mm,
okay, let them continue. Please come. Please somehow at least half an hour, 1 hour, whatever you are doing sadhana every day, stick to it. Just continue. Okay. If you are
mm,
able to get only half an hour, okay, do only half an hour. Everything will add up and slow purification will happen. We shouldn't push anybody beyond their desire. If somebody comes and says, no, 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 sometimes people go the other extreme, saying that, no, no, I'm done. I want to just give up everything. Even then we discourage, saying that, no, no, why you want to give up?
mm,
And then, see, because we have to bring them to a mature state of mind. That takes time. That takes a lot of shravanam.
mm,
So till then, we shouldn't push our thought process on it. All these things we just speak on the Vyasasan. That's all.
mm,
For me also, I speak all these things in class. Then somebody comes and says, I say, it's okay, no problem. You just do what you're doing. Because they
mm,
can't understand. Personal instructions are not to be given unless people are mature. People are ready to accept those instructions. Till then, personal instructions should not be given. A very
Okay.
important part of preaching. Yeah.
So on the last question,
Yeah.
uh, so actually, for every Ekadashi uh, day, Jayapatak Maharaj one uh, newsletter will come, Prabhu.
Mm-hmm.
So during that last newsletter, it was Maharaj's instruction was there that at least in a day we should speak to one new people
Very
regarding
nice.
Krishna consciousness. Okay,
Very nice. Yeah.
this was the instruction.
Mm.
So I was just speaking, I mean, to the disciples. So the thing is, like Maharaj will tell many things, but
Mm.
uh, they are speaking in. I mean, I am a little bit confused
Mm-hmm.
whether it's. I mean, you need to clarify. So whatever Guru is telling, so it needs to accept by all disciples or only few disciples. This is the first question.
It has to be accepted not just by disciples, it has to be accepted by all devotees.
Okay,
Disciples have to accept. See, when
okay,
Acharya, when an exalted Vaishnava is speaking, it's not just for some, okay, he's not speaking for his own disciples or like that. He's giving instructions to people in general, right? To everybody. Saying that, Ana Ekadasi, go and speak to a somebody new, at least once, one person. Now, this is an instruction for everybody. Now, the disciples are absolutely obliged to follow this. They're absolutely obliged because otherwise it becomes Guru Ravagya. Now, when it becomes Guru Ravagya, then it is no spiritual progress. Now, what is following this instruction means, suppose I assume there is some devotee who is not able to speak to others at all, but he is not rejecting this instruction. He's saying, oh, no, no, say, I don't have ability at all. But my guru is saying, go and speak to at least a new devotee. That means I have to start preaching, but I don't have the confidence. Then what the devotee has to do, the devotee has to come and seek guidance from some other senior devotees and take guidance. And then now what should I do? How should I go about, like this? My Guru Maharaj is saying like this. I can't just ignore it. I don't want to ignore it, but I'm not in a position today to do it. And then prepares. He prepares. It might take him 10 years to follow that instruction. That doesn't matter. But he can't reject it. He can't reject saying that it's not for me. Or just don't bother. I mean, don't just hear from this side and leave it from this side. No. Then they will not make spiritual progress. It's very simple. And like I'm saying, it's not just for disciples, it's misunderstanding, right? It's
okay,
for all. But obligation is there for disciples. Absolute obligation is there for disciples. So the others, if they are not able to follow, at least they should not do sadhu ninda, but they might just, yeah, maybe they have other services that they are taken up, and they are maybe it's but yeah, some instruction like this is so basic that it will be very difficult for somebody to say, I can't do this. Maharaj here is not saying something that somebody cannot do. We speak to so many people on a daily basis. How difficult is it to just go and speak to one new person who is not in touch, connected to Krishna consciousness, and just say, okay, today is Ekadashi. You know, you can just give him some prasadam, Ekadashi prasadam, and say, please take this Ekadashi prasadam. You spoke. There's so many ways by which we can, distribute Krishna consciousness, but that requires willingness. That requires willingness to hear and follow. But if you think that no, 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 this is just, like something that Vaishnava has written, okay, it's fine. I just heard it and then I forgot it. That's not healthy at all absolutely not healthy for disciples, for sure. For others also, they should take these instructions seriously because this is how we are going to make progress. Uh, and these great Vaishnavas, they are giving us ways and means by which we can get the causeless mercy of the Lord. It's a process. How it works. Oh, you are following this instruction because it was told by this great Vaishnava. Okay, Krishna becomes pleased. That's all. It's like that. It's so simple.
okay.
Mm,
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anybody? Okay. We'll close here. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
हरे
नमः
कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण प्रभु प्रणाम.
You are telling a answer should be maturely should answer.
Yeah.
Yesterday incident I am telling you in our temple only.
Okay.
My driver is a Muslim.
Okay.
Whenever he comes with me, he takes prasad actually. So I tell him, okay, you 1:15 you take prasad, but I don't know what time I leave. Then you should be ready. So then he takes prasad. Yesterday he was entering, I don't know which Mataji was standing at gate. So he has little bit the beard. She must be recognized with face. She asked her, what is your name? He said, show him. No, you can't take prasad, you can't enter the I said, I told him you should have called me. I said, she totally changed the prasadam, meaning of prasadam actually. So it is as you said, we should not give instruction if we don't know. If she does not know, she should ask somebody else, he can take prasad or not actually.
No, but this nobody need to ask. I mean, these are like basic things.
Basic
right?
thing, basic
Our
thing.
problem is that devotees are practicing bhakti without knowing what they are doing. This is our problem.
That is only, I was listening to your class now. Same thing, it was flashed to my mind. I said, what they are doing actually, I don't know why was simply
Who is
chanting.
this? Who is this person who got the right to, tell that somebody cannot take Krishna's mercy? Who became greater than Krishna, greater than Guru, greater than Acharyas?
Yeah, it was that poor boy. I asked him while returning, I said, you taken prasad? He said, no, sorry, Prabhu, sir. Today actually I taken so many times, but today some new lady was standing. I said, you should have told my name, I am their driver. He said, I told her also. She said, no, it is our system. You can't take prasad. I said, okay, no
Prabhu,
problem.
who is this Prabhu? We have to
I had to
please
find
fix
out.
this.
I had to find out actually.
I mean, every week, the prasadam that comes to our, JP Nagar Center, Ulimau Center is being brought by a Muslim. Okay, and
Yeah.
every day he comes, leaves the prasadam, takes one full, either 1 or 2 packets of prasadam. Yesterday he got a can to take some sweet, and we just fill it and send it, saying that, it's not just him. He's going to take it and give it to other people also.
Yes.
Right? His whole family will become Krishna consciousness. His friends will become Krishna consciousness.
Very good.
Right? I mean, why would we, and who are we to say no?
No, yeah.
Okay, if it is your house, okay, fine, it's okay, you decide whatever you want to do, right? This is temple.
But in a house also we give prasad.
No, that is okay. That is fine, Prabhu. We cannot say that to somebody. If somebody doesn't want to, call Muslims inside their house and give prasadam, it's their lookout, their problem, right? But they can't come and do this in a temple.
Yeah. And we are chasing away somebody from Krishna actually. That is a simple matter actually.
Disturbing.
So very stupid. So just I want to add actually what you were talking.
No, we have to ask your driver to give us who this person is, so that we can prevent it going forward.
No, I asked him for forgiveness as well. Sorry, Shoaib, it happened to you. I said there is no system in our temple like this actually, anywhere actually.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnava. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.